what draws me to the North, I think it just feels like home. After leaving Washington, D.C. and trying, really, I think the goal was to get as far away from Washington, D.C. as possible, which led me to Churchill.
The Wild Within obviously has the most incredible cinematography. The the oh gosh, the images they were able to capture, the the sights, the drone shots, just everything about it was absolutely stunning. And it's also at the same time so sad because these are um, animals and land that is, actively being destroyed in so many ways. And so I think that message of like, there's wild within us, we're all part of this, we're all on the same planet. And it's naive of us to think that we're separate from that. It may be far away, but we are still connected in so many ways. And how can we preserve them? How can we get people to care? And I think it's by personalizing it. And this is just such a beautiful film that has a wonderful message. And I think it's really impactful.
The Wild Within is very much a beautiful but also very foreboding short documentary in the sense that the cinematography is very beautiful, but I feel like that helps emphasize the warning of this documentary, which is basically, while these sites are breathtaking, they are getting rarer and rarer each day, and that's why we need to do our part in protecting it, because very soon, due to our actions, that is something that can very much go away. And I think it's very important to spread these kinds of messages.
The Wild Within. The Wild Within is a very well done short. I really enjoy the fact that we get the chance to see the wild, in this case the North Pole. But I think it was very interesting also to see that the life in the north, in the Arctic, is not the same as it was. For example, there is this symbolic shot with the polar bear within the rock, within the rocks, just walking, but there is no snow, and that's obviously quite hard to watch because there is supposed to be snow there, like all year round. It shouldn't be without. It shouldn't be dry. So that makes you understand that there is a big problem that humanity is facing, and if we don't stop, there's no coming back, and that's it. That's the end of our world as we know it. Even though it was a micro short, this one, it was completely on point, and it touched me really in the inside. So overall, and on top of that, obviously, there's a beautiful cinematography and direction, very well done. Congratulations.
All right, I just finished watching The Wild Within, which I thought was a really great piece, especially given the short time frame. I thought the drone shots and so much of the imagery was just so beautiful and enthralling. Seeing nature from that viewpoint, up close, right above, I thought all those really contributed to why the piece had a very sort of ethereal and spiritual feel throughout it that really worked well to sort of reinforce the ideas about the bonds between humans and nature, and sort of how frayed that is currently, and how the lead subject is trying to use sort of, I believe, visitor or experiences when you come and go out and see the land, or go out and see the bears or a whale in the water, sightseeing type of situations, how those are used to sort of create um, engagement and activism in people, to let them know that what's going on is really dire, and that these experiences and all these wild environments in nature are really dwindling, and there's a sort of catastrophic undercurrent to what's happening here and what's going to happen to human culture as a response of having such a poor relationship with nature. And I thought this piece worked well as both a PSA to get the message out, and as well as a really great sort of showcasing of the beautiful parts of the world and nature that are in nature of being under siege, given humans' current relationship and continued relationship with nature and resources over time. So I thought the piece was very well made, especially given how much they executed in a short amount of time, and was just a beautiful piece to watch because of how well those shots were constructed. So I thought it was well done overall.
The Wild Within. Wow, this had some beautiful cinematography to it. I mean, it really, really did. It was, the filmmakers did a great use of kind of depth of field with a lot of their shots that I liked. It made, the film itself was really interesting, but when they get creative with the camera work and using creative ways for depth of field, it just makes it even more interesting for me. I thought the music on this was perfect choices. Really, absolutely beautiful. And I loved the voiceover and the message that they were delivering. So great job.
The Wild Within. Well, this piece just made me want to travel. There's so many places in my own country that I haven't seen. I've always wondered what it's like at the region of Hudson Bay. And here's Churchill, Manitoba. And this feels like a promotional video, but it's beautiful. The Northern Lights, that sequence they played, it just seems unreal. The beluga whales, like 5 or 6 of them coming up to the boat. How amazing would that be? And of course the polar bears. The beautiful overhead drone shots so that you can really take the landscape in and see where this fellow lives. The shipwreck, I was intrigued by that. I was hoping he would maybe mention something about that because they showed it more than once, but you know, you wonder if that's from years and years ago, or something that hit an iceberg, and who recovered from that. His words, everyone has the wild within him. They just have to find it. There's probably a place for everybody that fits them, that's way out in the wondrous north somewhere. Just a really, really inspiring piece.
I really enjoyed the philosophy of this film, that everybody has wild within. And this guy's motto is kind of that if we find that wild within, maybe we'd be more prone to save other wild animals. We'd be able to save those other creatures, because humans aren't the only people on Earth. The fact that he lives so close to where there are polar bears and beluga whales is absolutely amazing, and he's right. We need to do what we can to preserve them. This documentary giving awareness in such a short format gives this awareness. It's quick and to the point, but it's showing that find your own wild heart and maybe we can protect our Earth. That's the message is incredibly powerful and something that we should adhere to do so we can save our planet. The cinematography was absolutely gorgeous, showing the northern landscape. Talking about the auroras was always amazing because they're beautiful. And to live amongst the wild as he does is absolutely inspiring.
The Wild Within. I thought this was really, really beautiful. I think it highlights another aspect that in today's kind of current environmental climate doesn't necessarily get talked about as much, and it's the importance of highlighting the current beauty and the current love that people have for their different parts of the world, especially the ones that are living a little bit more remote, are living a little bit you know, in a place that's a little more untainted by the world, and really highlighting not only what is still there and being able to show off and be proud of where they live, but also highlighting the fact that, like, we need to take action now. These are the places that we are actively trying to save and trying to preserve and trying to ensure can be around for generations to come. And I think that sometimes that gets lost a little bit because we get so focused on all of these other almost negative aspects of, you know, big cities, and, you know, we kind of lose sight of some of the more pure nature. And I think that these kind of videos are really, really amazing because it really helps highlight and truly show off the beauty that is out there, and that you don't have to go to some far-flung place of the world. Like, these are people that live there every single day. These are people that visit there. These people that, like, you know, run tourist operations there to run tours, and to, you know, you could see whales and you can, you know, go and experience this yourself. And I think that there's, like I said, there's a lot of value to it, because I think a lot of the time it's a message or a part of the message that often doesn't get highlighted.